Ladies and gents, welcome back. So, it is another absolutely glorious day, and we're on another fairly hefty mowing job. Not large in size, but it's pretty thick, pretty overgrown. Beautiful property, little paddock that they've got out the back that basically is just been overrun. I've already done a little bit because when I first arrived I was actually sort of unsure if the ground was going to be suitable for the machine, so I thought I'd do a little bit before I start a video so that it's not really short and boring, but I've done a little bit and I think we should be okay. It's fairly slow progress because we just got to sort of chip away. But I will sort of show you. I'll show you now. So here is what we're facing. This is the little area that I've done, and it basically goes all the way down to that tree line now, runs down this tree line here and then to that tree line there. Like I say, not huge in size, but it is literally all the way down. It is completely overgrown. The majority is bramble, which in itself makes it slightly more challenging because as you sort of trying to cut through, it all just mats together, so it makes it a fairly slow process. But once again, we are out on the Grillo, my little honey badger. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're just going to chip away. I did forget my tripod, so I'm just going to try my best to get some sort of half decent footage, and yeah, just do what I can. Yeah, what I'll probably do is probably just set it up on a sort of time lapse and just move from point to point, and show you what we're dealing with. Let's get on. Alrighty, so we made a little chunk of progress. I will, so I'll go back over here so you can sort of see. So we've now sort of swept through, come up to here. So we're just sort of coming up parallel with this hedgerow here. So yeah, there is so much rubbish in here, it's unbelievable. Bottles and the lumps of rock. There's metal, yeah, it's quite frustrating really, because you sort of say to people, you know, beforehand, because obviously when it's overgrown like this. I mean, I expect that, you know, people aren't going to know everything that's hiding in there, but you know, when you say to people, is the ground good, is, you know, has it been dumped on or whatever, they're like, no, no, no. You know, I mean, all that sort of corner over there, it was all like stockpiled dirt, so it was obviously where something's been graded off. So it was just loose dirt full of big, lumpy, chunky rock, and you're just a bit like, come on, you must have known that that was there. But there we go, we're making progress, we are getting there. So yeah, but I'll set you up now as best I can. Yeah, like I say, bear with, because I did forget my tripod like a plum, but I'll set you up, we'll do what we can do. So I would say that we are probably just about just under halfway through. So we've sort of come along from the top, so that's where we were earlier, sort of bashing that bit. Then I've cut down the inside all the way down there. I've done literally 2 passes, and then what I'm doing is sort of attacking it from this way. Yeah, so I come in from behind, so whatever way it's leaning, I come in from the opposing side. So I'm always sort of attacking it with it growing away from me. The reason for that is if you go in with it growing towards you, anything that's tall is basically going to smash you in the face and beat the granny out of you before you even cut it. Plus it also makes it a bit easier to cut, because it tends to be less knotted, because as you're driving into it, you're sort of laying it down, and you're laying it down the way that it's already leaning. So I always try and cut my way in from behind, and then just sort of, you know, you just got to keep working your way in as best you can. But yeah, we're going to carry on working sort of this area here and try and push in, and then once we've got in, we're then going to try and work back up the field this way. So well, that's what we're on. Rightio, so that is us done, finished, finito, and I'm quite happy about that, to be honest, because I'm hot, so I want to go home for an ice bath. Anyway, here we are. This is the finished article. So what we'll do, we'll go back up to back on the lamp that I stood on this morning to show you. And here we are. So obviously this is where we started. This was the hedgerow that went down, tree line, and then back up. And all in all, not a bad finish really. Mulches it up pretty good. So curious. This has been a full day. So we started at literally just before 8 this morning. It's now 4:45. Charge for this to the customer was 300 quid. That's man and machine hire for the day. So yeah, anyone who's interested, I know I've had a couple of questions on previous videos sort of about how much like these kind of things cost, but yeah, full day, 300 quid, job done. Like I say, that's us done now, so I'm gonna get myself loaded up and head on back, jump in the tin bath. That's the plan. As always, thank you very much for watching the video. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you on the next one, and be lucky.